Now today, I want to go over Loki's appearance in the NEL. I really want to rank and grade how Loki's appearance was. Was it good to see him? Was it a disappointment? Was it slightly lacking? These are the questions that we'll find out here in this video. As we know from before, Loki was the only master who we had seen before, prior to the NEL. He was a part of the World 5 that went against Blue Lock during the 3rd selection, and we knew about his abilities and how special he was considering he was with them. Back during that time, we also knew that he was around the same age as everyone else in Blue Lock, and we knew that he was so different from everyone else, and he was a rising star. For him to just show up as a master as well, it was kind of making you question what was his intentions, why was he here, and why was he a master at such a young age, and would PhD be able to listen to him? We eventually find out later on that Loki was using the NEL to foster Charles' abilities. He needed a passer to help him become the world's best, and he knows that Charles has the talent to be that passer. Now Charles is 15 years old and younger than Loki, but Loki still needed someone else to help him become the best in the world. He needs someone like Charles to become the best in the world alongside him, so he can carry France's future on his back. But there's still the issue of his overwhelming lack of experience, which is why he set him out to be in the NEL. This honestly makes a lot of sense for Loki, considering that he knows he needs someone with a genuine talent of a passer to be able to get him the ball when he needs it. Without that, he won't be able to be the person that he knows he can be. Honestly, for Loki to even understand this at such a young age makes him so great. It's really understanding that he needs a duo partner with him who can give him the ball when he needs and further allow him to become the best striker in the world. You can tell he's been gunning for that title for a long time, and he plays in France. So that national team with him and Noah is something he looks forward to. Now we know he won the World Cup with Noah, but now he's trying to figure out a way to defeat Noah and become the best in the world after him. Now let's talk about Loki's full appearance in the NEL. First, I want to go over his coaching. He was still able to get PhD to a 4-0 record, now facing Moon Chen. We don't know yet if they have won or lost as the game is still continuing, but for now, he is 4-0 and undefeated. He was able to create a new system style with Rin and Shido at the center, switching them out variously, giving Charles the opportunity to work with both of the strikers. Because of this, he was able to bring out his full abilities due to Rin allowing him to use his instincts and not just keep trying to find a way to get the ball in. And now Charles was able to evolve even further. And Loki thanks Rin by grabbing him by his jersey and telling him thank you. The thing about Loki is we start to learn a little bit more about his ego. When we first met him, he seemed like a cool, calm, collected, and humble person. But later on, we start to see that he has an ego that might be even as worse as Noah's. Right when he grabs Rin, he tells Rin that we played each other before, right? And that means to him that Rin was so insignificant, he barely even remembers that they played. He says, I believe it was during Blue Lock's 3rd selection. He then says, I've had to revise my opinion of you since you become such an entrancing striker. One could even say you're a different person. Thank you for causing Charles to awaken. So this means this whole time that Loki really does see Japan as the bottom of the fodder. He doesn't really care at all about any of these players, and he's really just here for Charles. But it also makes you think, if he doesn't care about these players at all, then why even sign up for it and have Charles go here? Why do you think that Japan, and Blue Lock specifically, would be able to bring out Charles' abilities instead of just being at home and just doing his abilities normally? There has to be a reason for this. Maybe he was betting on the fact that Rin and Shido would be able to create this mess with Charles due to his personality. Now for Loki, we've seen him and Charles doesn't really like to listen to Loki. However, Charles has a really good time with people in Blue Lock. He's had really good relationships with Rin, Shido, and Karasu. You see, Loki takes a lot of things seriously. However, in Blue Lock, there's a lot of games and a lot of stuff that goes on where it allows Charles to be himself more. Probably a lot better than what it is like in PXG. And now for thanking Rin for giving Charles that ability to awaken himself, Loki ends up taking the field. I love how when he takes the field, Noah tells him that you joining is basically cheating. So then Noah decides to go in. So basically Noah is still saying that Loki has the heights and level of talent that are still way too far above everyone else that's playing in the NEL right now. This does make sense as Loki is a master and all the masters so far have played at a talent and level above everyone else. So I don't see no reason why he would say that as well. When Loki enters the game, we get to see his amazing speed once again. He says the slow ones die first. That's the law of nature, as he's able to defeat everyone with his ongoing speed. We see this amazing speed and God-given abilities that Loki has that no one else has been able to see on the field or has on their own. This type of speed is even faster than KiiNGKhy's. Someone who was the fastest in Blue Lock this whole time, but now met with Loki, this speed is on another level. With this, he has a special move called the God Speed Distortion, where he's so fast in just one stride he's able to get past everyone, blowing them out of the way. He was even so fast he was able to deflect Kaiser's impact on his free kick. When everyone else was slowing down and thought it was a goal, he still managed to get there in time. This is honestly one of the best blocks we've seen so far in Blue Lock, and because of this game is not over yet. He was able to block it with something that's not human speed. It's something that can't be explained by logic. It's literally a genius with God-given abilities. Because of this, Loki is considered a prodigy. His Godspeed slaughters the Emperor's strike, and his Godspeed negates everything. He even says the Kaiser's impact is too slow, something that Noah said was the fastest swing in the world. Loki says it's too slow. Now in terms of speed, he might be even the fastest in the world. He was so fast as well that Isagi even realizes this is on a whole nother level, and he just doesn't have a chance competing with Loki in terms of speed. I don't think anyone does, honestly. Isagi starts to realize that between him and Loki and Noah lies an unsurpassable genetic. Because of this, Isagi had to figure out a whole type of way of playing, which he ends up doing later on, but we're not going to talk about that in this video. As for the game, Loki didn't care for scoring. He easily could have tried to score and go for the goal, but he did have Noah on him, so it could have been a little bit harder. But his main goal was to get Rin to score the goal as a thanks for Charles. Because of this, Loki didn't do too much. He just showed off a bit, showed his speed, got the ball back, and tried to get it to Rin to score the goal. However, Rin was ended up being stopped by Kaiser and Isagi. Loki then says that him playing was all for nothing. He joined in because it seemed fun, but he couldn't believe that Rin didn't score off of his pass. He then says at this rate, it'll be 10,000 years before the world's best striker comes from Japan. And then Isagi tells him that he's the one who lost. His visualization in the future, where Rin scored, Kaiser and him smashed it apart. Isagi then tells him to be a man and admit that he lost. You're awfully full of yourself for someone who just happened to be born fast. And we see this panel of Loki looking back in frustration. Loki's ego is through the roof, and for someone like Isagi under him to even tell him and go through like this made him very mad. It was so much that even Noah told him that that's enough and that this is streaming worldwide. So he understands that he should not get someone like Loki mad. Then off on the sideline, Loki tells Noah that Isagi needs to watch his mouth and that he is Noah's responsibility. Noah tells him that he didn't say anything wrong. Loki says, "Are you saying I lost?" And Noah says, "No, this isn't settled yet." Now what does Noah mean by this isn't settled yet? In this case, are they talking about the match? Are they talking about Loki's rivalry later on with the Blue Lock under 20 players? I don't know exactly what this could mean, but all we know is it's not settled yet. Loki joined in for a chance of fun, however, he was met with a little bit of disappointment and unexpectations from Rin that happened in the game. Because of this, his appearance wasn't that long, and honestly, this was the only match where I felt like the Masters in this time wasn't really as big of an impact compared to the other games prior. You could tell that both of the Masters were in this game to help hype up someone else. Loki wanted Rin to get a chance to score the goal and be the hero this time, and then Noah wanted Kaiser to go ahead and re-achieve his dream so that way Noah has a bigger target in the end. So due to this, you could have said his play on the field was a bit disappointing. However, I don't consider it disappointing considering what his main goal was since the beginning of Blue Lock and the NEL, and that was to garner Charles' abilities. From this, that's all he wanted to do. He didn't care about anything else, doesn't care about the players, doesn't care about the matches. He just wanted it where Charles could further garner his abilities and become better, so that way when they go back to France, he has someone who can give him the ball and be the ultimate passer for Loki to be a striker. And I think overall this is still the great way to go, and it's something that we need to look forward to, as we don't know whether Loki will play in the under 20 match or not. Now personally, I don't see him doing it. I don't see why he'd waste his time with that. We'll probably just wait for him to reach another rival, but right now he's trying to reach Noah, and playing the under 20 match has nothing to do with Noah. He needs to go for the big sights. Let me know what you guys think about Loki, and was his appearance in the NEL disappointment? Was it lagging, or was it exactly what we needed to see? Now honestly, I also think it's a great thing that he was also part of the reason why Isagi's ego was able to open even more. Because of his desires of new egos, Noah and Loki further shared that ego, because they're the closest in two egos of being egregious and just out of par from everyone else, that Isagi and Rin took in these egos and now created their own originality, as well as Kaiser. So from that being said, let me know what you guys think about this, and I'll see in the comments what you guys got going on. Well, I thank you guys for watching the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be back in the next one. Peace.